Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're doing the next step on the sheath, which is getting it ready for sewing. So we need to trim all this excess material off, give us a nice smooth face here, and then we need to groove in the stitch line and start putting the holes in. So that is us for tonight. Now there's a couple of ways of doing the preparation. We can start with just using a knife and trimming. Just trim off the excess leather. And then go onto a piece of wood with a piece of sandpaper glued on, so you've got a nice flat surface, and you just basically go on backwards and forwards on top of the piece of wood. I'm a knife maker, so I happen to have a variable speed grinder, which is a heck of a lot easier to do. Now, most of this video will probably be with music over the top of it and fast forwarded, just to try and keep the sound down and the time down. But yeah, basically I've got a 2 by 60 inch grinder. It's variable speed. When I'm doing the leather, I want to have the speed right down, so it's just crawling along and just taking it off without burning it. I want to use nice clean belts, like this one, brand new belt, so it's not got any metal or any other contaminants to go into the leather. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll be wearing eye protection, and I've also got my hearing protection. Generally I also wear a mask for this, but I'm not going to be wearing it while we're on this video, just because it's going to be awfully hard to talk through it. But yeah, generally I wear the mask as well when I'm grinding. So away we go. Now I'm just going to shape it all up, so I'll talk you through it first. Just got to shape it all up, bring the ends down, and then I'll progress down through finer belts. This is a 60 grit belt, then I'll use a 120, then I'll use a 240. So we'll just run through the belts, smoothing it up as we go along, and then I'll take you through to the next step. So off we go. Okay, that's our 60 grit done. As you can see, it's all nice and smooth and flush through there now. Nice and flat across the top. The primary thing with that 60 grit, which is our nice coarse belt, is just sort of getting the shape that we're after. So once we get the shape that we're after, then we go down. And as I back down into finer grits, then I'm going to have to also back down the speed as well. Again, to prevent that burning issue, because if you've got the high speed sanding with the leather, it's going to burn. Okay, that was a lot quicker when you go up to the finer belt, and now I'll go to the finest belt that I'm going to use, and the rest of it comes down to slicking it. Same with we did with the edges of the belt loop. This one's the 240 grip belt. And again, we're just going to turn the speed down a little bit more. Okay, there we are, all sanded off smooth. Now for the next step, because we're outside, we'll go over to the anvil and take it from there. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay folks, here we are over at the anvil. Now we've sanded all the edge smooth, so that's awesome. Now we've just got to take the corners off, and we just use the little beveling tool to do that. Just go all the way around. Okay, now this one is a combination tool. I can do the gouge for the stitching line as well. So what I want to do is come to the edge there, have a look and see whereabouts on the welt I want my stitching line to come to. So that's a little thick at the moment. Ideally you want to be about halfway through the welt. So all I'm going to do is on one side only at this stage. Won't take it all the way to the top. Okay, so there is our stitching line all ready to rock and roll. And next up I'm going to lay the stitches in, and to do that I'm going to use some stitching punches. These ones give me a 4mm gap, which I find works about perfectly. So all I'm going to do with these is mark the stitches out and get a hole, because we're then going to go to the drill press and we're going to drill them. So I don't want to drive it all the way through. These won't go all the way through anyway, so there's absolutely no point trying to push them. I'm just going to set the holes in place so I've got it ready to go. And that gluing's come undone on me. Not to worry, as I said, the glue holds it for the stitches, so as long as I've got it in the right place when I drill the holes, then we'll all be hunky-dory. Okay, there we are, all punched, and across we go to drill it. Alright, see you at the drill press. Alright, here we are at the drill press. Now, the secret here is use the smallest bit you can that's going to get through. You want that drill bit to go all the way through, and you want to be able to use it to do your stitching holes. You don't want anything larger and too large, because otherwise your stitches are going to be loose in the leather. Alright, away we go. Now I'm going to start with that strap first because I've got it all positioned and held nicely, and then I'll move on to the other parts. Okay, there we are, all drilled through, nice and neat on that side. There's a reason we have a front side and a back side, and you try and make it for the dominant hand of the person. So that one will neaten up a touch as we sew it, and I'll try and push the stitches across a bit, but yeah, it's not too bad. Alright, well that's it for tonight. Please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notified of further videos. We've only got a couple more left in this series of building the sheath, stitching, and then we are going to go on to the finishing off, which is burnishing this edge, giving it a decent wax coat. And that's it. This one will be done, and then we'll be moving on to a new series, and I'm probably going to do a making a knife series. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.